So I'm going to tell you why my Tundra right over here played a role in us trading in my wife's Audi and purchasing this Lexus GX. This is a 2017. We sold her 2018 Q5. She had, I can't remember, the premium, prestige, whatever it was, the highest package of the Audi. She loved it, the Q5. But as we talked about it, there were some changes coming in our lives, and the big change was this thing right here, which wasn't so much of a change because she's a year old now, but our granddaughter, and we needed some place to put her in, something that was a little bigger, a little easier, and this fit the bill for my wife for that reason. Now, the part that has either directly or indirectly to do with my Tundra is right here. This is the 4.6 liter. The 4.6 liter is essentially a refined version of the 4.7 liter that used to be available in the Tundra. Toyota redid that in 2010. It became a 4.6 liter. It actually gained a little bit of output. They destroked it a little bit, so it was a little bit shorter, so it's a little bit less displacement, but a little bit more power. And this is the engine that's gone for 1 million miles in a few vehicles now. So when you look at it, so the Tundra told me, hey, we can go ahead, we can get this engine. This is a good quality engine. And when they modified it, they essentially took some things they had done in the 5.7 liter that they hadn't yet done to the 4.6 liter. You can go ahead and look that up if you want. I'm not going to get into all that for purposes of this video, but the longevity on these Tundras is what caused me to want this particular engine in a vehicle. Now, I love that 4.7 liter, and I really wanted my wife to go with a Land Cruiser. Who doesn't want a Land Cruiser? But for her, the Land Cruiser was just a little bit bigger than what she wanted. She wanted something big enough that she could put our granddaughter in the back seat, big enough that she could travel with some other family members if she wanted to. And this fit the bill for her. And I got to tell you, I do like driving it around. It's a little bit of a heavier vehicle when you compare it to the 4Runner. We do have 2 4Runners in the family. Both my daughters drive 4Runners. One's a 2014, the other one's a 2016, and we like those really well. This is definitely, while people consider this to be near the 4Runner, it's really more of a Land Cruiser Prado that you can't get in this market. That's what it is. It's a little bit heavier, comes with the V8 engine in it. The underpinnings are a little bit different, a little closer to the Prado, and so that's another reason we got this here. Similar in size to the Land Cruiser, but a little bit more substantial in overall feel. One of the other things that's convinced us to go with this vehicle was the pandemic. When you look at changes relative to the pandemic, CNBC did a great piece on this a short time ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, where they were talking about the change in vehicle prices. From 2014 to 2017, most new vehicles, I shouldn't say most new vehicles, 20% of new vehicle purchases were below 20,000. And then in 2017, it began to change. And as the pandemic hit last year and into this year, less than 10% of vehicles, 9.4% of new vehicle purchases are now available less than 20,000. Everything's going up. When you combine that with the inflation that we're currently hitting, the change in price of vehicles for something reliable, something new, is going to be staggering. So this is the state of things by me right now, and I think it's the state of things across most of the country. Here I am at a GMC dealership. They have not a new SUV or truck in the entire lot. Talked to the dealer here the other day. Anytime they get one in, it's either already sold or sold within hours. The dealership is just about completely empty, and that's true of the Ford dealership by me and the Toyota dealership right down the street as well. It's really true. And the Nissan dealership, they have absolutely nothing over there right now. Our best here to arrange the vehicles at the Toyota dealership to make it look full, but the truth of the matter is they don't have anything hardly in stock right now either. I've got one new Tundra there, 2-wheel drive Tundra SR5, that's it. Nothing else here is new. Not a single new truck, not a single new 4Runner. It's crazy what's going on here right now. Well, one of the things that we had a hard time with, or not really a hard time, but the only thing that gave us a little bit of pause, it was only brief pause, was the fact that the radio could not be changed out per Crutchfield. It integrates with the climate controls here, And because it integrates, they recommended not changing it out. We understand that. Although it also came with a CD player here. And as my wife says, well, she doesn't use CDs anymore. She did want to have access to her Apple, and of course it Bluetooths to the Apple iPhone. But she also wanted to have Google Maps and Waze for when she's traveling on her own. And so she just came up with this holder that went into the CD slot there, which seems to work out very well. Cinch the deal for me was that this is indeed the Land Cruiser Prado, just with other skin on it. And the nice thing about the Land Cruiser Prado is that it's been around, it's been tested in other markets for a long time. It is a very well-made, very durable vehicle. And that CNBC report that I talked about earlier from a couple weeks ago talked about the fact that the vehicle, when they classify, there's more vehicles now with more than 200,000 miles on them on the U.S. roads than there ever have been. And when you look at how they rank those from IC Cars, which is the service they referenced, over 16% of Land Cruisers have that many thousand miles on them, over 200,000 that are currently on the road. Next down was 10% of Toyota Sequoias that are on the road have over 200,000 miles on them. Well, why aren't there that many Tundras with 200,000 miles on them? Well, they still sell a lot of Tundras. They don't sell that many Sequoias and Land Cruisers anymore, but those vehicles are going for that distance. And if they sold the Toyota Land Cruiser Prado in the U.S. market, it would be doing it as well too, because it's doing it overseas. So looking at what the engine is, what the history of this vehicle is, this is why my wife's Audi Q5 that we traded in was, of course, a great vehicle. We got it brand new in September of 2017, right when the 2018, the new model first came out. We had it for 4 years. We put 42,000 miles on it. And when we traded it in on this 2017 that has, let's see here, 59,000 miles on it. Actually had 58 and change at the time. This is just over 59,000 miles now. It had 58 and change at the time we got it. And the thing about it is we traded in almost even up. So that vehicle new, this stickered at about 53,000. I think we got it for right around 50 when we purchased it 4 years ago, the Audi. And then we ended up trading it into CarMax for 34,600. And this truck, which was a 2017, or this SUV, which was a 2017, we got for 37,000. So here's a question on that. The Audi with 42,000, this with 58,000 like it had, going forward, which one do you think is going to hold their value well, and which one do you think is going to have more longevity? I'm betting on this vehicle over that Audi. So we were actually traveling home from out west, and we were on our way back to Georgia, and we were going through Alabama, and my wife had been looking at these, and she found this one for sale in Birmingham at a CarMax just south of Birmingham. And what actually made us decide to get it? Well, it had relatively low miles for 2017. It was just under 60,000 miles. It had was in very, very good shape on the exterior. So that was a big thing. And the interior was relatively well cared for. It was a little bit dirty, but it was also the luxury package. And like I said, so it came with a seat that we could fit our new granddaughter into. It also came with the bucket seats in the second row, which my wife really liked. And then that also included the rear ceiling vents there in the luxury package. And those were all things that she really thought that she would like. And so she also likes the gray color. And so when we look at the gray color, which of course they call it something different, but it's pretty darn close, if not the same, to my MGM Tundra there. I'll have to look it up and see if it is indeed the same. But with all that being the case, why, this was the vehicle we ended up getting. Some other features that are kind of interesting. We're not sure exactly how we're going to feel about it. So far, we think we like it. Is the door here that opens like this instead of pops opens. You can see we've been doing a fair amount of work. Got some stuff in the back there, but it does that. It'll also flip up here, and just some other little unique things about it. But so far, we're liking it a lot. And like I said, in no small part, does a decision to get it have to do with that 4.6 liter that's available in it, or that's the only engine in it, which was also available in the Tundra at one point in time as the 4.7 liter. And then in 2010 it got redone into the 4.6 liter in the Tundra. But that's kind of it. We'll have to do some reviews on this one and tell you about how things go with it.